This video is sponsored by Xiaomi. Xiaomi just released this beauty, the limited edition Mystic Silver Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, and it's honestly a pretty awesome phone for its price. Now, this design is exclusive for Xiaomi's Fan Festival, and it's available globally starting now. And side note, this isn't a full review since, Xiaomi's sponsoring this video, so this is more of an overview of what this phone's about. So let's check out what this phone has to offer. Now, just like any other smartphone video on this channel, let's quickly talk about its specs. The Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G I'm reviewing has 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage. The processor inside is the MediaTek Dimensity 7200 Ultra, which is a pretty good processor for its price. It's basically an overclock version of the Dimensity 7200 chip. Now, this also packs a massive 5000 mAh battery, so this thing is packing a huge battery compared to other phones in this price range. And you can fast charge up to 120 watts wired, which is just bananas. Now, the display looks pretty good. It's a 6.67-inch AMOLED display that features a 1.5K resolution, which is slightly higher than 1080p, but lower than QHD. It gets relatively bright up to 1800 nits peak and features a 120Hz refresh rate, which is perfect for gaming and everyday tasks. And I don't know if you guys noticed this, but this is the first Redmi device with a curved display. So Xiaomi is really trying to cater to those who want a premium feeling flagship-like device, but won't break the bank. Now, besides the curved display, we're also getting rather slim bezels, which again adds to that immersive of the new display. And then when it comes to its design, it has this nice two-tone design to it on the back, which we kind of have this darker shade of silver up top and a lighter shade of silver below with a really cool Xiaomi Fan Festival logo at the bottom. Now, going back to its display real quick, I think for a non-flagship phone, this display looks really good. It feels really snappy thanks to that 120Hz refresh rate, although I wish it offered LTPO of some sort to have the refresh rate dip down to 10Hz, just to save on battery. But the 120Hz at this price point is awesome, so I can't really complain. And then the 1800 nits peak brightness, which gets plenty bright indoors, and it's actually very usable on a bright and sunny day outdoors too. Although if you do have the screen brightness all the way up, this can run down your battery fairly quick, but nonetheless, the display is vibrant, it's bright enough for everyday use, and it's curved, which a lot of people seem to like. Now, when it comes to its performance, I think the Dimensity 7200 Ultra on this phone does the job quite well. I'm not expecting ultra fast or blazing fast performance from a flagship chip like the Dimensity 9300 or the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, but the chipset that's on this phone can play games just fine, it can multitask just fine, and it feels snappy on a day-to-day basis. Now, if you're a big gamer, this should still be able to tackle through a lot of those more popular mobile games out there, including my new favorite game, which is Warzone Mobile. But yeah, performance, it's solid for its price, and if you know what the phone's capable of and what its limits are, it can perform just as good as phones that cost twice as much as this. Now, in terms of battery life, I've actually only had the phone for 2 weeks, and I think it's pretty decent. On average, I'm getting around 6 hours of screen on time during my testing, and honestly, I'm not looking for an all-day phone with this phone. The fact that this supports up to 120 watt wired charging means I can plug this phone while I'm getting ready to go out, and I'll be good to go shortly after. Now, this phone can charge the phone from 0 to 100% in less than 20 minutes, which is just insane. Now, here in the US, it's more like 25 to 30 minutes just because we can't fully utilize that 120 watt brick that it comes with, but still, one quick shower later and your phone's already at 100%, which is awesome. And then we have the cameras. Now, Redmi devices, even in years past, were not really designed to have the best of the best cameras on a smartphone, so don't expect Xiaomi 14 or Xiaomi 14 Ultra quality on here. But what we have here is a 200 megapixel main wide camera with an f1.65 aperture and OIS, an 8 megapixel ultra wide camera at f2.2, a 2 megapixel macro camera at f2.4, and a 16 megapixel front facing camera. Now, quality-wise, the main wide camera looks great with just the right amount of details in the shots, offering decent dynamic range, good color accurate colors, and I'm actually surprised for a phone that's not marketed as a camera-forward smartphone. this is actually producing decent looking photos that doesn't look over processed or over sharpened, which is a huge plus. And this is something we typically see at a more budget minded smartphone. The ultra wide looks to be decent as well, with good amount of details in, similar looking colors as the main wide camera. I do wish there's a proper 2x or 4x zoom lens on this phone, but that's okay. The digital zoom to 2x or 4x does the job just fine, but obviously it won't be as clear as some phones with proper optical zoom cameras. Now, in terms of videos, you can shoot up to 4K 30 frames per second using the main wide lens, and if you want to use 60 frames per second, you'll just have to bump the resolution down to 1080p. Now, like the photos, I think the main wide lens looks to be the best. It has pretty good stabilization and pretty good colors. It's not too saturated and too contrasty. Overall, it's definitely usable to share on social. But yeah, that's the Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G in a nutshell. For a phone that costs less than $450 and could be more affordable in other countries, this is a really great choice at that price range. If you do want to check out this special edition Mystic Silver color, make sure to check out the links below or check your local Mi retailers to see if they have this available, because it looks awesome. That's been it for this video, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one.